Hello, welcome to our classes. I am Dr. KK Misra. This video tutorial is on descriptive questions and answers on managerial economics, KMB N102, a paper taught in MBA semester first of AKTU. इस वीडियो ट्यूटोरियल में हम क्वेश्चन नंबर 17 से क्वेश्चन नंबर 22 तक बात करेंगे. So now come to the question. Question number 17, describe different theory of inflation in detail. जब हम डिफरेंट थ्योरीज की बात करते हैं तो हमें बेसिकली तीन थ्योरीज की बात दिमाग में आनी चाहिए. वन इज मार्केट पावर थ्योरी, अनदर वन दैट इज कन्वेंशनल डिमांड पुल थ्योरी, एंड देन स्ट्रक्चरल थ्योरीज. हम स्ट्रक्चरल थ्योरीज में बेसिकली तीन प्रकार के थ्योरीज की बात करेंगे. वन इज मार्कअप थ्योरी, बॉटलनेक थ्योरी एंड डिमांड composition theory. Different economists have presented different theories on inflation. The economists who have provided the theory of inflation are broadly categorized into two levels, namely monetarists and structuralists. Monetarists associated inflation to the monetary causes and suggested monetary measures to control it. Yes, there are two schools of thoughts. वन इन मॉनेटरी टर्म्स, जहां पर कि उन्होंने देखा मनी वैल्यू की बात आ रही है, एंड दूसरे ग्रुप थे स्ट्रक्चरलिस्ट्स दैट दोज बिलीव दैट द इन्फ्लेशन अकर्स बिकॉज ऑफ द अनबैलेंस्ड इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम एंड दे यूज बोथ मॉनेटरी एंड फिजिकल मेजर्स टुगेदर फॉर सॉर्टिंग आउट इकोनॉमिक प्रॉब्लम्स. जहां कि पहले केवल मॉनेटरी टर्म्स में उन्होंने बात किया, प्राइसेस के टर्म्स में. बस स्ट्रक्चरलिस्ट थ्योरिस्ट बात करते हैं ये केवल कॉस्ट पुश या डिमांड पुल की ही वजह से नहीं होता है, बल्कि इट इज अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ बोथ. तो चलिए हम आगे देखते हैं इसका सही क्या होता है. एज आई टोल्ड देयर आर थ्री मेन थ्योरीज ऑफ इन्फ्लेशन, जैसा कि इस डिपिक्टेड है इस फिगर में. मार्केट पावर थ्योरी ऑफ इन्फ्लेशन, कन्वेंशनल डिमांड पुल इन्फ्लेशन एंड स्ट्रक्चरल थ्योरी ऑफ इन्फ्लेशन. Now, market power theory of inflation. In an economy, when a single or a group sellers together decide a new price that is different from competitive price, then price is termed as market power price. Such groups keep prices at the level at which they can earn maximum profit without any concern for the purchasing power of consumers. Normally ये duopoly market के players होते हैं, जहाँ पर बहुत कम संख्या में players in fact competitors हैं, and they create a kind of business cartel. previous video tutorials हमने business cartel के बारे में discuss किया है. For example, in the past few years the prices of onion were very high in India. The soaring price of onions was the result of the group action of onions producers. In such a situation, people in middle and lower income groups reduced the consumption of onions. However, onions producers earn high profits from higher income group. Now, conventional demand pull inflation. The market power theory of inflation represents one extreme end of inflation. But here in demand pull inflation, what happens is that according to this theory, inflation exists even when there is no excess in demand. On the other end, the conventional demand pull theorists believed that the only cause of inflation is the excess aggregate demand over aggregate supply. In full employment equilibrium condition, when demand increases, inflation becomes unavoidable. That's a fact. In addition, in full employment condition, the economy reaches to its maximum production capacity. At this point, the supply of goods and services cannot be increased further while the demand of products and services increases rapidly. Due to this imbalance between demand and supply, inflation takes place in the economy. Now, structural theories of inflation. जैसा कि हमने बताया था यहाँ पर 3 थ्योरीज होंगी, हालांकि फिगर में 2 ही की बात कही गई है. आगे हमने अलग से डिमांड कंपोजिशन थ्योरी की बात की है. जो हमने अभी ऊपर मार्केट पावर थ्योरी एंड डिमांड पुल थ्योरीज की बात की है. So there is a middle group of economists called structural economists. According to structural theory of inflation, market power is one of the factors that cause inflation, but it is not the only factor. That is the difference. The supporters of structural theories believed that the inflation rises due to structural maladjustments in the economy or some of the institutional features of business environment. As depicted here, two of the theories, markup and bottleneck. Third one I will be discussing separately, demand composition theory. Now let us try to understand what is markup or bottleneck theory. Markup theory. Markup theory of inflation was proposed by Professor Gardner Ackley. According to him, inflation cannot occur alone by demand and cost factors, but it is actually the cumulative effect of demand pull and cost push activities. Demand pull inflation refers to the inflation that occurs due to excess of aggregate demand, which further results in increases in the price level. The increase in price levels stimulates production. Here the point lies, but increases demand for factors of production, and consequently the cost and price both increases. So that is basically the markup theory. Now, bottleneck inflation. Bottleneck inflation was introduced by Professor Otto Eckstein. According to him, the direct relationship between wages and prices of products is the main cause of inflation. In other words, inflation takes place when there is a simultaneous increase in wages and prices of products. However, he believed that wage push or market power theories alone are not able to provide a clear explanation of inflation. After analysis of inflation situation, Professor Eckstein says that the inflation occurs due to the boom in capital goods and wage price spiral. In addition, he also advocated that during inflation, prices in every industry is higher, but few industries show a very high price hike than rest of the industries. These industries are termed as bottleneck industries, which are responsible for increase in prices of goods and services. So that is actually the essence of this bottleneck theory. In addition, Professor Eckstein advocated that concentration of demand for products of total industries results in inflation. Third one, demand composition theory of inflation. The last of the structural theory of inflation is what is known as demand composition theory, recently propounded by Professor Charles L. Sulje. According to Sulje, neither cost push nor demand pull theories can offer an adequate explanation of inflation. He points out that prices and wages are comparatively insensitive to decrease in demand. Actually, that is the essence of this particular theory. That means when with increasing inflation, when salaries increase, wages increase, all right, there is a demand for the items, but when the supply actually, and accordingly the supply doesn't increase, but when the situation becomes moderate, then they don't lose, in fact don't get much of the prices, they don't lower their wages. So this is what is written here, that the prices and wages are comparatively insensitive to decrease in demand, but they respond rather quickly to increase in demand. In other words, if demand decreases, prices and wages do not go down quickly, but if demand increases, the increase in price and wages is almost simultaneous. Sulje thinks that it is a rapid shift in the composition of demand which will lead to a general price rise, even though there may have been no increase in the overall aggregate demand or a general increase in the level of wages. Now, another question: differentiate between demand pull and cost push inflation. Demand pull inflation, that is caused by increase in aggregate demand due to increased private and government expenditures. It occurs when aggregate demand exceeds aggregate supply, which increases cost suddenly. To increase the output, firms employ more people. When firms employ more and more people, they end up in increasing cost of production of the good as compared to the output. This results in the price of the good and hence inflation. Cost push. Cost supply inflation is also termed as supply shock inflation, caused by drops in aggregate supply due to increased prices of inputs. For example, sudden increase in the supply of oil would increase oil prices. Producers for whom oil is a part of their costs could then pass this on to the consumers in the form of increased prices. If the good whose prices increase is used widely in production, the effect is much more and causes inflation. Now, another question may be asked, that is, what is accounting profit or what is economic profit? In simple language, जब हम profit की बात करते हैं तो simply profit, that is selling price minus cost price, or at macro level, that is total revenue minus total cost. So when we talk about the cost of material, interest, rent, wages and industries, like here total cost is defined here, that is total cost is equal to wages plus rent plus interest and cost of material. अगर केवल इतना हो और प्रॉफिट निकाली जाए तो उसे हम अकाउंटिंग प्रॉफिट बोलेंगे. So here accounting profit is basically total revenue minus total cost, where total cost is just the sum total of the wages, rent, interest and cost of material. But when we include the implicit cost in calculating economic cost, implicit cost basically the cost of self-employment of the producer or the entrepreneur, that is excluded in accounting profit, but if that is included in the profit calculation, so the profit which we get is actually the pure profit or economic profit. So that's how here it is explained that unlike accounting profit, economic profit takes into account both the explicit costs and implicit or imputed costs. The implicit or opportunity cost can be defined as the payment that would be necessary to draw forth the factors of production from their most remunerative alternative use or employment. Opportunity cost is the income foregone which the business could expect from the second best alternative use of resources. The foregone incomes referred to here include interest, salary, rent and often called transfer costs. Economic profit also makes provision for insurable risks, depreciation, necessary minimum payment to shareholders to prevent them from withdrawing their capital investments. So when implicit cost is added to the total cost, that in fact here actually the economic profit is equal to now total revenue minus total cost, but here the total cost is equal to explicit cost plus implicit cost. So economic profit may therefore, like as I explained, here it is defined that total revenue is equal to total profit is equal to total revenue minus explicit cost minus implicit cost. It may be negative since it may be difficult to decide beforehand the best way of using business resources. So pure profit is a short-term phenomenon. It does not exist in the long run under perfectly competitive conditions. Now उसी चीज को अलग से भी इस क्वेश्चन डायरेक्ट आ सकता है, व्हाट इज एक्सप्लिसिट कॉस्ट और इम्प्लिसिट कॉस्ट. तो पहले ही हमने डिफाइन कर दिया. एक्सप्लिसिट कॉस्ट इज बेसिकली द कॉस्ट ऑफ in fact the sum total of wages, rent, interest and cost of material. And implicit cost is basically in economic profit that is included. So herein the cost of self-employment of the entrepreneur. The implicit cost or opportunity cost can be defined as the payment that would be necessary to draw forth the factors of production from their most remunerative alternative use or employment. ये बात पहले भी डिस्कस की जा चुकी है और एक्सप्लिसिट कॉस्ट भी उसी तरीके से यहाँ पर डिफाइंड है. नाउ define the 5 fundamental laws of economics and significance of managerial economics in decision making. ऐसे क्वेश्चंस भी आ सकते हैं. तो जब भी फंडामेंटल लॉज की बात आए, 5 हैं टोटल 5. 1. Economic laws are conditional. 2. Economic laws are statement of tendencies. Economic laws have poor predictability. Economic laws are not subjected to control experiment, and economic laws are less universal. So these hardly require any further explanation. Now, significance of managerial economics. Main aim of all the business and industrial enterprises is to earn maximum profit. To achieve this objective, managerial executive have to take many objectives decision. Decision making is the process of selecting a particular course of action from among the number of alternatives available. A sound decision can be taken only when the decision maker has friendly, fair, good knowledge of the aspects of economic theory and the tools of economic analysis which are directly involved in the process of decision making. The importance of managerial economics is a business and industrial enterprises are as follows. First, reconciling traditional theoretical concepts to the actual business behavior and conditions, estimating economic relationships, predicting relevant economic quantities, understanding significant external forces, and basis of business policies. Now, write short note on, say, law of diminishing marginal utility. This is the premise on the buffet style restaurants operate. They entice you with all you can eat, all the while knowing each additional plate of food provides less utility than the one before. And despite their enticement, most people will eat only until the utility they derive from additional food is slightly lower than the original. That is what is actually the concept of the law of diminishing marginal utility. आप यहाँ पर देख सकते हैं जैसे जैसे हम कंजम्पशन बढ़ाते जाते हैं उस पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट की उस टाइम पर यूटिलिटी और यू कैन से मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी कम होती जाती है, डिक्रीज होती जाती है. और यही है द concept of law of diminishing marginal utility. For example, say you go to a buffet and the first plate of food you eat is very good. On a scale of 10, you would give it a 10. Now your hunger has been somewhat tamed, but you get another full plate of food. Since you are not as hungry, your enjoyment rates at 7 at best. Most people would stop before their utility drops even more. But you say you go back to eat the third full plate of food and your utility drops even more to a 3. If you kept eating, you would eventually reach a point at which eating makes you sick, providing dissatisfaction or disutility. So this was all about this particular video tutorial. I hope that you have liked it, and if you have liked it, please do not forget to subscribe my YouTube channel or classes and press the bell button and pass it on to others, those who are needy now and in the future. Thank you. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much. Have a nice time. Best of luck.